Hey guys, I'm Franchescha.
I'm Caroline.
And I'm Alexa. And we want to welcome you to Study Break.
Study Break is Fordham's newest entertainment show, created to bring you all things surrounding art and pop culture here at Fordham and in New York City. Today we have a special interview with the creators of Soul, Isaiah Messina and Kylie Frank, along with hot topics and coverage about what's been happening around campus. Stick around for more.
All right, and let's jump right into it with some hot topics. Alexa, did you want to start us off?
Sure. Here we go. Chloe K.
Oh my god!
Okay,
seriously?
Tristan, shame on you. Are you freaking and kidding me?
Wait, have you seen the meme? It's like, good morning to everyone except Tristan Thompson.
That
literally,
barely
that
even
just
covers
like,
it.
right? Like,
Okay, this is wrong on so many levels. Well, first of all, I think it's unfortunate because people aren't rallying behind Chloe because she got with Tristan while he was still with another woman who was pregnant. So, on the one hand, I can understand Twitter's frustration, but Chloe is my favorite Kardashian.
Oh, she's
Tristan,
the best.
you have a ride or die woman at home who is carrying your child, and you've been cheating on her since October.
Shame
when she
on
was
you.
3 months pregnant.
Shame on you.
You're absolutely
Trash.
absurd.
Trash.
Ridiculous.
It's not cute.
Chloe
She
has
doesn't
had the
deserve
baby.
it. She does not deserve it.
She really doesn't.
No, she's been through so much with Lamar and now this. Like,
I know.
She was always the one dealing with Rob.
Okay, but it happened
so sad.
in October, and like, did she not know about it?
No,
Or,
they
like,
said she's been distraught, and she just found out the other day. So to have all of this news come out, and she just had the baby on Wednesday. Still waiting for a name, by the way. But regardless, Tristan, you are trash, and you better be good to that child because you weren't good to Chloe. All right.
All right.
Who's next?
All right. I'll pull the next one.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's see. Hollywood love is not real. Oh my God.
Okay,
not.
I feel like
It's
this
not.
is true.
Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
My
I'm
actual
devastated.
goals. I cannot believe that. I literally cried because I found out.
Well, I was in
Brad
denial.
and Angelina gone.
Absolutely.
Jennifer Aniston, Justin Theroux gone.
And Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux, in my opinion, were some of the most boring couples in Hollywood.
But
So
I
that
still-
honestly
but
was
there's still-
iconic.
Jennifer Aniston's winning like everything.
Yeah.
And because she lost Brad, she needed like that love, and she finally found it, and then it's gone. And it's just
She can find love somewhere else.
Yeah, true. She's
but
fine.
I'm
She
more
has-
upset
she
about
has
Channing
age, so
and
it's
Jenna.
fine.
No, that's true.
Channing,
Because Step Up, like that was like
Oh, I
The
know.
ultimate love story.
The
The ultimate
guys,
love
I'm not
story.
kidding. Next is gonna be like Mila and.
Don't jinx
No,
it.
guys.
Oh my god, if Mila and Ashton break up, I'm
Ashton.
blaming you. We're gonna come right
It's
back to
gonna happen. I'm
this.
kidding. I'm calling it
Oh my
now.
gosh.
Hollywood love is not real. Everyone dies. Like it just, it does. Like they're all
That escalated
relationships.
very quickly.
Not like, you know what I mean? Like they crumble.
Unfortunately so, but hopefully
sad.
Channing and Jenna will get back together. Maybe they're just taking some time apart. And
I
then,
don't know.
Alright, I guess time will tell with Jenna and Channing and all
We'll
of
see.
the other love connections in Hollywood. But let's see what our last topic is in the meantime. Alright. Spring weekend performance.
Okay. Josh Peck, first of all, that was the first announcement.
Yes.
Peyton!
Yes.
Honey, buy me a drink!
Okay.
I'm gonna be
put
up
on-
front. If you don't see me front row, like then I just wasn't even there. Like
No, I have to
run
be
front.
Absolutely.
Me too.
It is going to be
I
Throwback
cannot
Central.
wait.
I'm putting on my best apple bottom jeans and rocking out because I am so prepared
Jam.
for
It's
this
gonna be
moment.
jam.
But I've
Okay.
heard he's trying to like reconstruct him, like
His
he's
image.
yeah.
Okay, if he tries to bring like new music out, like we're not here
No,
for that. We
I'm
want, like
here
the
for the
old,
throwback.
We're here for the throwback.
Yeah.
We're here for like what made you T-Pain.
Exactly.
Like that's what we're here for.
And he's featured on a lot of songs. Like, is he going to do his like those featured songs or just his?
I think
There's some
He
surprise
has
guest
to.
performance. I think that would be like a huge mic drop, great moment.
That would.
Realistically, probably
Also,
not.
I don't know, with this whole Jesuit thing, like his songs are pretty explicit. So like
I'm in love with the stripper.
yeah, so
And
like,
bartender,
yeah, so
buy your
what's-
drink.
So
you know,
what's happening with that? I hope he
Yeah.
doesn't try to like hide that.
Right, because
Let it be
previous
out.
years they haven't been able to have certain
Right.
performers because like the Jesuit.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But I'm so excited. I'm here for it.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And then with Josh Peck, he's definitely.
Okay, so there have been some amazing events happening on campus and around New York City this past month. We had our study break correspondents cover them. You've seen the a cappella groups at Fordham, but you've never been behind the scenes. Our Zach Zellis has more.
I'm here outside Keating Third Auditorium, a space that is typically used for speakers and presentations. But every Wednesday night and Sunday afternoon, this room is filled with music. As Fordham's oldest co-ed a cappella group, the Fordham B-Sides have established themselves as a pop group known for their powerhouse vocalists and dynamic song arrangements. Learning an average of 10 songs a semester, the group has come up with a comprehensive system they go through at each rehearsal to learn new songs. B-Sides musical director Kevin McSorley explains.
We have a new arrangement to learn. We come in, we listen to it once, and then we split, boys and girls. We kind of go through the parts ourselves, and we come back together and keep listening to it off of Note Flight until we feel comfortable enough to go into the corner and kind of test it without Note Flight.
Note Flight is an online music software that allows the group to write and rehearse their own arrangements of popular songs. But the computer cannot do it all. Describing his role with the group, McSorley says that,
So basically, I'm in charge of just making sure that our sound is as good as it can be and making sure that we're staying on the right track when it comes to the music itself. So I'm conducting, making sure that the dynamics and the sound is as perfect as it can be.
It is not all hard work for the B-Sides, though. The singing group is also a group of friends, and they are not afraid to let loose every once in a while.
It's just controlled chaos most of the time, so we're just trying to make sure we have the best sound, but at the same time, having fun.
The B-Sides will hold their end-of-semester concert on Thursday, May 3rd at 7 p.m. in Collins Auditorium. From Keating 3rd Auditorium, I'm Zach Zales, Fordham Student TV.
All right, that was amazing. Doing 10 songs a semester, that's a hell of a lot of work.
Why can't I sing like that? Honestly, I one request in life is to be able to sing like that.
It's like you see them, but you really don't know how much work goes into it, and
It's
really like
so impressive.
Absolutely. Well, thanks to Zach, now we do know. And speaking of vocal talent, our very own Speciale got to go behind the scenes and speak with the Julie Andrews to cover an event this month. In support of those who have lost their voice due to illness or other trauma, the Alice Tully Hall at Lincoln Center hosted the Voice Health Institute Gala.
On March 5th, some of the industry's finest gathered to honor Dame Julie Andrews and the work of the amazing doctors at the Voice Health Institute at their 15th annual Raise Your Voice Gala. Along with performances and speeches was the reiterated importance of raising awareness about vocal injury.
For all of us who use our voices, vocal health is unbelievably important. So many people don't think about it, take it for granted. And if we weren't able to speak or use our voices well, where would we be?
Besides Dame Julie Andrews, the star of the night was Dr. Steven Zeitels, the man behind the magic.
Back in the 1960s and early 70s, and that was at Boston University. And then one day, after my training primarily as a cancer surgeon, which is all that I was doing, I started realizing folks that I had gone to see their shows when I was a child and a teenager were coming to me to be their physician.
Performing surgery for many of the most well-known artists, such as Sam Smith and Adele, the celebrities in attendance made sure to share their stories and thank him for his work.
I had vocal surgery August 25th, 2011. Dr. Zeitels literally saved my career. He gave me the surgery to remove these nodules, and literally, I've never canceled a show since.
Steven Zeitels is a genius. He lives, breathes, eats, sleeps vocal health.
Other attendees included Roger Daltrey from The Who and Dr. Oz, who had advice for students.
Honestly, when you feel like it's being tensed, don't talk at all. Whispering is worse than talking.
$15 million. The star-studded night concluded with the honoring of stage and screen legend and honorary chairwoman of the Institute, Dame Julie Andrews.
Thanks for the last 15 years of her support and leadership.
Oh, God, Stephen. It's beautiful, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
What a talented array of individuals we have out here tonight. From Alice Tully Hall at Lincoln Center at the Voice Health Institute's 15th annual Raise Your Voice Gala, I'm Speciale.
Absolutely. What a dream come true being able to speak to her.
It was like a dream. Like, my childhood icon was standing in front of me. Like, I got to talk to her. It was just amazing.
I would have been shaking the whole time. That's incredible.
Absolutely. And not just that, to interview Christina Perry, Dr. Oz, those are some really big names that were featured.
Thank you. Awesome. It was an amazing experience.
That's awesome.
Okay, for our final story, we take a look backstage with Fordham's own Isaiah Maxino and Kylie Frink, the creators of the fashion platform Soul. Alexa Lamenta has more.
Hi, I'm Alexa Camille with Study Break, and we're about to go meet the editor-in-chief of Soul, Isaiah, who runs the online publication solely by Fordham students.
Hi guys, welcome in.
So this is your closet, or at least part of it.
Right, part of it.
So what would you say are your favorite pieces on the rack?
I love this piece. I wore this to my very first Fashion Week party last February, and it's so unique to me. It's a to my first fashion month also to NSW.
Now, the style that you guys choose for Soul, are those clothes that you guys use through connections, or is it from stores that anyone can go to?
Right. So sometimes they're from connections like showrooms and PR firms, but a lot of times we will pull from our own closets. Obviously, like a few of our first shoots were pulled from our own closets. Other times, you know, we'll go to, again, Topshop or Zara, just because it's so accessible.
I'm Ellie. And I'm Chloe. And we are writers and contributors and stylists for Soul Magazine. So what we choose to pull really, I mean, mainly obviously depends on what the inspiration for the shoot is and what we're going for. But all the time, we really just like look for clothes that we know will photograph well. So once we actually post the editorial, we'll release photos from our actual mood board that we use to pull the photo shoots onto social media. And Ellie and I both work social media for Soul. So that's on us to post the caption and kind of get people excited about the editorial and kind of remind people that it's there. I think that's something that sets Soul apart. Is that we really just like show like the whole creative process and really where we got our inspiration from.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I cannot wait to see the finished product. And if you are just as anxious, head over to their website now and check it out. I'm McNeal, and this is Study Break.
All right, now let's welcome Soul co-creators Isaiah Messina and Kylie Frank.
Welcome, guys.
Hello, welcome to Study Break.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So congratulations on your new relaunch for April 2018.
Thank you.
For people who don't know, what exactly is Soul and what are your guys' roles within it?
So I'm the editor-in-chief of Soul. You know, whatever an editor-in-chief is, that's what I do. What Soul is, ultimately, it's an online publication that focuses on fashion, culture, and arts. So that's, you know, we have everything from the photo editorials to the written editorials to coverage on, you know, shows or events within the industry.
I'm the executive producer of Soul and also the co-founder with Isaiah. What Soul really is about nurturing the new. So whether that's artists, designers, models, makeup artists, anything really, musicians. And that's kind of the differentiation point between us and like other publications.
Aesthetically, what Soul also captures is, you know, from our point of view, a lot of what fashion is and what, you know, art is, I feel like a lot of times nowadays it's very commercialized. It's always like what's on Instagram, what's gonna sell. I think what makes Soul a little different is that we aren't focused on that at all. I think we focus more on the story behind it, you know, the more raw and authentic message behind, you know, fashion, what drives an artist to do what they do. And so, yeah.
So as you're saying, you like the whole rawness of the fashion industry,
right.
The creativity behind it. So what would you say is your inspiration behind every edition of Soul?
So we have an amazing creative director, her name is Lily Labro, that helps us create. In terms of editorials, we kind of have this like concept. So for example, for myself as a producer, when I got the first mood board for April, it was really focusing on like really cool plastic surgery concepts and like all this like reconstruction of not only us as Soul, but also of like just in general the industry and what we want to recreate. And then taking that as a producer, my job is to kind of like further it basically. We contracted another person named Luke Norton, and he kind of like talked to us about this idea of maybe like, what if we highlight something different in the industry? And immediately we're like, and he introduced us to our cover model, Garnet Rubio, in which we were thinking she just went through her transition, and what amazing opportunity this is to give her that focus point and like also that entire community of that. So we kind of like build off of each other. It's a lot of chains, and then Isaiah comes in with it, with the fashion side of it.
Right. Well, not just fashion, I think the message as well. But,
yeah. Well, no, of course.
Right. No, but it's like, it's a lot, you know, with the cover stories, I think especially with our relaunch, what we try to make different is that our cover stories are what we capture, you know, they're substantial. I don't know if you guys, you know, the latest Vogue covers, Kendall Jenner, stuff that, you know, that people who don't really, I mean, in my opinion, contribute much, or just not as, you know, substantial, or it's, you know, they capture things that, you know, people don't really care about. I think with Soul, what we try to do is we try to capture people who are, you know, with a backstory, with a message that might resonate to a more meaningful crowd. That sounds really pretentious, but
I think that building off of that, from what I've seen with Soul, and what I really appreciate is that you create these spaces for underrepresented communities, particularly, of course, in the fashion industry, whether it be transgender identities or people in the LGBTQ+ community, and that seems to be a recurring and really strong theme on your platform. So can you speak to that and why you feel it's important to promote those stories?
I think, I mean, if you, taking a look at our editorial staff, like it's me, Kylie, and then our creative director and photographer, Lily, we come from different backgrounds. Yeah, we're so unique, and it's funny because, you know, we all have the same kind of goal. And so obviously, you know, those kind of issues and those, you know, social movements are important to us, and so we want to include that in our own works. It's, you know, Kylie hit a good point. When we relaunched, she made an announcement, she was like, you know, Soul is diversity in all aspects, whether that's class, race, gender, whatever it is, that's, you know, it's important to us.
Yeah, and I think with our backgrounds emphasizing that behind us, I mean, even like how Soul started, it was because we were all different and like all diverse, and we all felt that we were underrepresented in a way in our given industries, and we were kind of sick of it, honestly. Like genuinely, that passion behind it was like that we were genuinely sick of it, and we wanted to be something different, and we wanted to show that there is like other people who have the same ideas as us, and that kind of makes it like all fun too, like be able to find all these different backgrounds of these people and like see what their goals are, what their dreams are, and like that what the future of fashion will be one day, and we're like very proud to be able to give that platform for that.
Well, speaking on different backgrounds, I know you're a working model in New York City. How do you manage the time to like find to do modeling, being a student, and then working on Soul as well? Just how do you manage it all? And you look amazing. Like it looks like you literally just rolled out of bed. Like, how do you do it?
Trust me, it was not easy, but not a lot of sleep, but no. Just a lot of like inner motivation, and I think that's from a lot of the people surround me. I mean, I think like everyone, some people get lazy. Like there's days that I don't want to get out of bed, and then like I look at like, for example, Isaiah, who is one of the most hardworking people. I know. Yeah, not to toot your own horn. No, I mean, but seriously, it's really about who I surround myself with, and like I see all these like people who are hustling every day, and it's like, yeah, I want to do that too. So I've kind of always been the person that I don't want to say no anymore. I want to say yes to everything that I'd be able to manage and do effectively and at a good quality. So it's always kind of like my point of that.
You guys were talking about Vogue before, and I know you were featured in Vogue Italy, correct? That's amazing. Congratulations. What was that like to find out that was happening?
I remember I was in my 3-hour journalism class, and Loli texted me, and she's like, check your email, but don't freak out. And you know, naturally, I'm like, oh my god, what do I have to fix today? And so I checked my email, and it's like Connor and Vogue Italy, and I'm like, wait, what? And so I clicked the link, and it's literally there, and it's our photo editor that we all work together as a team. We're all credited, and so, you know, it took, maybe this is just a personal thing, it took time for it to soak in. But you know, I was in class just oh my god, Dad, guess what? But no, it was, you know, I still write on that every day. It's such a dream come true, really. Yeah, I was freaking out. My Kylie was calling me, so.
I mean, I personally was just waking up. And like, the first thing I checked is my email in the morning, and I saw like the subject after like seeing Lily's text, and I was like, what the heck is this? Like, clicked it, and I was like, oh, called it. And like, it was such like, just like, it wasn't even that it was like, I mean, obviously we're incredibly excited, but it was such like more than that our work is like validated by other people in the industry, which is not anything that we like sought out for, but it was just like a really great, I think, compliment in a way.
I served as the fashion editor that day, and so I was there with him, and you know, he, like what Kylie said, he was so great. He was like, I was like, okay, this is a weird concept, but you just gotta kind of do it. He's like, I'm all for it. And so it was great. And I remember, you know, the glitter took so long, all the makeup artist, you know, she was good at what she was doing, but it took forever, and he was just like chilling. And then I remember getting it off took hours. Me and the assistant that day, we were just plucking at his face. I was like, no, it's totally chill. I'm like, okay, great. And you know, I guess in reward to that, he got into Vogue. So
yeah, it was all worth it. For sure, that's definitely a great way to wake up to find out that you've been featured in Vogue.
Yes, he was my first email.
You discovered new talent. Yeah. And speaking of, you've certainly been discovered with Wilhelmina signing in New York, and I know you recently signed, now you're bi-coastal with Wilhelmina LA, so congratulations on that. Congratulations. So I'm curious to know, how has your work as a model influenced your producer skills and being behind the camera with Soul?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's actually kind of how Soul came about, like originally too. So about 2 years ago, I was dropped from a modeling agency in New York, which was a really hard blow to ego, confidence, whatever. And from there, that's when I kind of got that drive to be like, okay, I don't want anyone else to be able to control my life anymore, which is in a lot of ways what agencies do. They tell you where you're going, what you're doing every day, etc. And I wanted to take that control back, and I wanted to give it back to the models, the designers, everybody that's behind the scenes of it, and like not just the people who are like sending you the jobs, but the people who like want it. So that's kind of like where that energy and that passion came behind.
So awesome. So speaking about like the creative process behind everything, what is the stem behind everything that you guys do? Like, what's the creativity? What spurs you to keep doing what you're doing? And like with the whole diversity, what brings it all together?
Well, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's very difficult to answer.
I guess what brings it all together, I mean, with the creative process with us, I mean, we kind of just bounce ideas. We always sit down, you know, weeks before a month of the launch, and we're just like, what do we want to do? And so, we just, usually Lily will spit out her idea for the photo editorials, and then Kylie and I will bounce those ideas off of one another, and then I'll, you know, on the writing side, I'll sit down with my writers and we'll discuss what we want to talk about. I don't know, it's
a lot of collaborating.
Yeah,
it's a lot of teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah,
so clearly.
It's a lot of too, like, I don't think any of us go into it having the exact idea of what we're going to do. It always kind of changes. Like, like I said earlier in the reconstruction, it was like totally not going in the direction that it ended up being in, which is awesome. Like, we love that we like able to get like a small step and then we make it so much more. And that's just part of all of us, like having so many different backgrounds and like so many different values and dreams of like what we want to see in this issue, that like being able to collaborate it all and like weave it all together is what we want to do.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think our final production, you know, directly reflects our mood boards that we come up with. Are so different, but it works. At the end of the day, I mean, I think it works.
I mean, it works. We get Vogue Italy. Like, hello.
Definitely. And not only that, you have an upcoming project with Vogue Poland, so that's also really exciting.
I'm excited for that. I'm nervous, but excited.
Nervous is a good thing, though.
Right, no, yeah.
You do care.
You can channel the creative energy.
Yeah, no, and it's totally different from what I do here at Soul. You know, here I'm really working on my journalism skills and just like creatively, you know, creating stories, but for Vogue Poland, I'll be able to actually work under a stylist and see what they're about. So I'm very excited, thank you.
The future of Soul, what do you see coming up? Like, where do you have it now and where do you want it to go?
So, yeah, we've been asked this a few times, like kind of like where we want to go, and I think every single time our answers evolutionize a little bit of what we want to say with it. But I think that we never have an exact set dream, goal, whatever. We kind of take it month by month, and whatever comes is great. And I think that when you set those kind of goals, it just is pressure that we don't necessarily need to make something beautiful anyways. It's more about what we're going to do every single month.
Yeah, that's true. I think the only proper way to say it is just to see how it grows. I mean, I still call it a project because, you know, if I call it anything else, it would just stress me out. But yeah, I mean,
it's been a year, almost a year long project.
But yeah, I still call it a project, and the only way I think long term is just to see how it grows. I think it does have the potential to grow, though, and I'm just, you know, I think that's our goal, just to make sure that we don't remain stagnant in our work.
We spoke a little bit earlier about the collaborative process that you guys have with, whether it be with your models or your photographers or your writers. So for any Fordham student that's looking to get involved with Soul, how would that process come about?
Just email us. Our emails are on our social media site, our emails are also on the site as well. We are huge on collaboration. That's what it is. Like, we have our own submission page, whether you're a model, photographer, writer, whatever. You know, if you have great ideas, bring them to us because we are open to, you know, other students joining.
I say we spend like almost like probably 50% of our time meeting with new people to make new collaborations. I mean, like right now we have amazing, great content that's coming up with like an artist and like designer next month, and like we love meeting new people. I mean, like even yesterday we met with a new photographer and I shot with him personally to see how he'd be able to shoot for Soul. So so we like to give a chance to everybody, and like anyone who's like willing to submit and like work with us, then yes, as long as you have that same kind of drive and the same kind of passion behind it. What you want to do, it's way more about passion, and it's okay if like someone's not up to par yet, and that's okay. And like that's kind of our job, is to help. Well, personally as a producer, that's part of my job, is to help you get there. And to like, if you have that energy, we're gonna put that energy into you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. You guys are great. Good luck with everything.
Yeah, keep killing it. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
we are so lucky to have you here.
I try not to get wrinkles.
You're right. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And thank all of you for watching. We'll see you next time on Study Break.
Bye.